to order. Have any guests that would like to speak this morning? And you have anything?
Border Patrol here.
Oh, yeah, and you want to speak or anything? Everything good?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, let's go into the minutes. In your board packet. He was here. He is here.
Are you from the station?
No, I'm actually from the Isleta station.
Are
We
you?
have all the way from Yarborough all the way to, I guess, with the middle of San Elizario. I know this one's a little closer, but a lot of the the canals go through my area.
Yeah.
So they asked us to kind of participate, see if there's anything we can do for each other.
You got a new, main supervisor, what's their name out here?
Well, actually, I'm not from this one. I
Yeah.
really don't know who got this one, but we also have a new supervisor, a patrol agent in charge at my station, at Isleta station.
Yeah. His
We
name-
met with Mr. Reyes a couple of months ago.
Uh-huh.
We have open lines of communication, so if there's anything, any concerns, I didn't get to meet you last time, but nice to meet you. I'll
Okay.
give you a card right now.
All right, yeah. Yeah, here, the head guy over here, his name's Matt Harris, he's my next door neighbor.
Oh, really? Very cool. I have heard the name, but I don't remember it.
Can you let Maria in the room now? That's right.
You just thought you were get away. You just thought you were.
Yeah, the joint.
I know one. Okay. Sorry about that.
It's just
All
a
right,
regular
we're on the
single,
minutes.
but you can type in testify 1, 2, 3, 9, 4, 10, 11, and on the meeting ID. Right here.
I'm in, Chris.
Okay, Mr. Spears here, Maria's here, Al's up there. Is Renee on too? I don't see Renee.
Yep, he's just coming for executive session.
Okay, all right. That's cheating, you know.
Sorry about that, I was using the wrong link. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Okay. The minutes, any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I've got some comments.
Uh-oh.
There are about 5 resolutions, which refer to attachments, and in my booklet, there are no attachments. I just wonder if the original minutes had been in the office have the attachments.
They're on?
Yeah, the official copy has it, Jim. It's such a big amount that we didn't, need them in here, so.
Okay,
But,
okay. And then the other thing is that the minutes in my booklet refer to Texas Gas Services. And the last time I checked, that was an assumed name of One OK, which is the gas supplier to the city of El Paso. So you might want to change that to read One OK, and then I'm not sure the whole corporate name, in business as Texas Gas Service.
well, we can check that out. I'm not sure, Jim, whether it's,
The license is, yeah, so the license reads Texas Gas Service, a division of One Gas, but we'll correct the minutes.
it's one gas.
Okay, all right, sir.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
And just for the record, Mr. Bowen's on the phone.
Also, yeah, he was giving me a hard time about Fort Anacott. The only reason Phil's a good guy is because he's attorney for the water district down there for years and years. All right, guys. Any additions or corrections other than that? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve them as presented.
So moved.
Hart makes a motion. Second. Larry second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, Lisa, you have nothing to report, it says here?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mary, you always get on early and get away scot-free. I don't know how you do that.
Good morning.
Maybe because you did good work.
Thank you. On our monthly investment report, we do have a CD that will be maturing August 25th, the 3 million CD, and we'll go ahead and reinvest. I went ahead and looked at the rates for the treasury bill, and at this time, we're looking at 0.11 to 0.15%.
Point It's
1.12, right?
99%.
Yeah, 0.12 or something, I saw this morning.
Wow.
That's,
In the bank, what are they offering?
As of lately from the last CD that we invested, they're coming a little slightly higher than.
Not,
the treasury.
but not much, right?
Not much.
but it's higher.
And are you anticipating another 6-month period, or was it 6 months?
Yes, this is the 6 months.
Okay.
What a flip-flop in our whole world economy, right?
Okay. So we only have one treasury left, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And its maturity is February. Well, that 249, who'd have thunk it, Johnny? That looks real good, doesn't it? 249.
It looks about 300%.
Wow. 249, wow. 30-year I saw this morning was like 1.4.
Why would you top money?
30-year,
For 30.
30 years.
Wow. Yeah.
But they don't sell much of those. Okay, Mary.
The next report is our balance sheet. Are there any questions on it?
Any questions or comments for Mary on the balance sheet? All right, you better ask something.
No,
Don't be
that-
disappointed.
No. Wait till she gets net revenue.
Let's go ahead and go into the net revenue.
No, what I was gonna say there was, yay!
Yes, on the
I don't know if you
over
or Al or both of them, yay! I can read that thing and it makes it. Okay,
Management has been working on, for the new year, the budget, so hopefully, for the next month coming, we will be presented and meet with, the budget committee to go over.
next month.
I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, and I wanted to discuss that, the new budget. I visited with Art last night, we were talking. From what, it looks like next year with water, we're not gonna have any water. And it's gonna be a very, very difficult time on our water users. So I would like for us to consider, if the rest of the board is all right with it, in a reduction in taxes next year and figure the budget accordingly. We have 18 million in the bank, and the only thing that we need to spend money on is our long-term plan. And I didn't discuss this, it just came up last night, and I should have. But this is something that I want to consider and to look at, because I think next year we're gonna have a lot of dry canals, and we're gonna be able to do a lot of that plan, but we still have a lot of money. Going into next year, okay, the little bit amount of money that we would reduce our budget with a lower tax rate, I don't have any idea specifically. I'm throwing out an idea for the board to consider. Might help some individuals out in the country quite a lot. Because most of the money that we get in on the tax bill is whenever we deliver water. We're not gonna have any to deliver. But the amount of money that they're gonna have to come up with, the farmers and the water users, to pay, is gonna be a lot to each individual person, in my opinion. Because I have a feeling, gut feeling, and now you can tell me if I'm wrong here, we'll be lucky to get an irrigation next year unless something huge happens.
Well, we'll get one irrigation, we get.
That's what I said. That's what I said, you agree with me, thank you.
One or two.
And maybe two, depending on what's going on.
You know, Mary and I had been talking about calling the executive committee so we could meet and go over it. We've got a budget that we've been working on with the managers, so we'd like to discuss it with you all and then see what you all have.
Well, that's the reason I brought it up this morning, because I was talking to her about some other things last night, and it dawned on me that we're into the budget
Process.
process, and so I thought this is a good time to consider. And that would be just a revenue item, and all it'd be in the budget. And I don't have a specific in mind, but I wanted the rest of the board to hear it and be considering what we're talking about. So,
Okay.
okay?
Fiscal year's end of October, right? End of October.
So, Mary, you were thinking of calling a meeting with the executive committee for next week?
Yes, for next.
Works for me.
Well, I have that deposition thing. Yeah, but it'll work for me, you know, depending on, I think Maria wants me the 25th to do a little prep, and then tentatively I'm set on the 28th. Is that right, Maria?
That's correct, yeah, that's been firmed up, so, there's the,
That's Tuesday and Friday, and anything else
Right.
should be okay.
yeah, and Chewy is,
27th?
occupied on the 27th, so we could do something on the 26th,
Are you free the 20th?
maybe later in the afternoon,
Yeah, Robert's on the 26th.
correct.
Well, maybe the 25th.
The 25th?
Yeah, the 25th, we're not gonna be occupied all day with the prep, so we could do it,
In the afternoon?
after, in the afternoon, after we meet at 1:30.
Yeah, I'm set for 1:30, and Maria thinks she can teach me enough stuff. And how long do you think?
Oh,
A
an
day or
hour.
two? An hour, yeah, right.
A year and a what?
A year and a what?
So you all would be available on the 25th in the morning?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That could be.
Maria wouldn't, but I would, right?
Yeah,
In the morning.
Yeah, well, I have, you know,
1:30 for
that meeting, we have Chewy, you and Robert, I'm gonna be working with on the.
all of us
between
on
like
that same
10
day.
We can meet at before 10
Okay,
or after 2:30.
okay.
And to be sure that Chewy would be free and Art would be free.
Yeah, before 10 and after 2:30 on Tuesday, the 25th.
What about
Right.
Monday? The 20th?
Or, yeah, or Monday's all right with
Monday
me too.
Monday?
Monday, the 24th.
Monday.
Can we do Monday, say, right after lunch, or do y'all want to do it in the morning?
Maria, can you do it?
Well,
Or Maria doesn't have to be there.
On the
Maria doesn't have to
24th,
be-
yeah, so on the 24th, Phil King's deposition has now been scheduled, but you know, if I can join by Zoom over the lunch hour, and then I'll be coming down El Paso later in the day, so, but, you know, I can make it work by Zoom if we want to do it
well,
over lunch.
we don't really need you for the
Budget.
budget,
Yeah, okay, that's fine, then don't worry about me, it's,
because we might need to cut from the lawyers.
That's the first deduction we're gonna make.
if I could wave my magic wand and make it all go away, I would, but,
Al, you be available on Monday?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it Monday at what time?
Whenever.
9 o'clock,
Afternoon, Mr. Reeves?
9 in the morning?
afternoon?
Yes.
Or you want that in? Okay.
9 in the afternoon.
9 in the
No,
afternoon.
no.
1:30, 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock? Will that work?
Sure. 1 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, let me put it in my phone.
Al, that works for you?
Sure.
2 o'clock in Austin.
Or Arizona?
No.
I'm in Austin.
Oh, you're in Austin?
I'm in my deposition room.
At what time, 1 o'clock?
your deposition
1
is
o'clock.
in.
On Monday, the 24th.
Yeah.
Right. Now Google will remind me. Okay. Go ahead, Mary. Anybody have any questions of any of the reports? Any of the figures in the reports? I guess the 500 check report, everybody's pretty nice this morning. I don't know what's wrong here. $500 check report.
Oh, I did have one back on revenue, sorry about that. On page 2, our capital purchases, I think I know why we backed off, but we're well under budget on that one. Are we holding off? on some of that?
We haven't received, well, as a matter of fact, we received two of the mowers today that had been on delayed so we haven't paid for those yet. And then we have
Another two that we're waiting on, another two more straight
another
mowers.
two mowers that we're waiting on. And then we have the maintenance, the three maintenance.
choice, yes.
Okay, so we're not gonna end up as under budget on capital purchases as it looks.
Yes.
Okay, that's, I think that was about it. As a matter of fact, that is.
What about the big one? They're in the middle.
The 1.7, that's payroll.
Are we under there?
Well, let me look here. I think this only is through July. Yeah, so you
Yes,
got
this
August,
is through
September,
July.
October.
Okay.
You still have a quarter.
Okay.
So if you divide that in that other figure, we're
So
pretty
it'd
low.
be nice if we saw that in the next quarter.
Yeah. So I think it's on, right on track. Okay, sorry, Johnny.
Very good. $100 check report.
Line 14. I just was curious. Custom Roundup?
That's Roundup, that's called custom.
It's
It's
called
not-
custom?
it's
Will
called
they
custom.
make it, you tell them how to do it? and they do it?
No, it's, that's the name of,
Oh, it's the name of
yeah,
it?
it's just, it's,
They have
you know, they got the
pro,
rodeo, they got the pro, and then they got the custom.
What's the difference on? Wow.
On the custom, on the custom, you have to add surfactant. We're getting ready to go back to the pro.
Pro.
Yes. Yeah, and the reason we changed it was because we were starting to see that the pro wasn't killing the way we wanted it to. And I talked to some people, we tried the custom, and the custom seems to be been working for us.
Because you had the surfactant.
Because we act as surfactant, yes, sir.
Why are you gonna change that?
It's, right now, the custom is taking almost, I think the last load took almost 2 months to get here.
Oh,
To
To
where
get
the
here?
pro, yeah, to where the pro, I could get it
You
here.
can add some more surfactant to the pro if you want to.
yeah, that's what we do. We add a little bit more than what it
You
carries.
can add more to it if you think that.
Right,
The
yes.
only if that's the only difference in the two, and it's not the concentration of the active ingredient,
Yes.
add a little more of your normal soap
Oh,
to it.
surfac- yes. That's the only difference that I'm aware of,
Yeah,
the surfactant.
that's a fixable, I think.
And the pro, we can get it here locally.
Okay.
On the item 12, the handicap system, restroom facilities, what specifically is going on there? Are we upgrading the restrooms?
we had to upgrade the doors.
The latch versus?
No, the push.
Automatic
Lever,
push,
yeah.
for the handicap.
I'm just curious, when we built this facility, it fell into the ADA Act. I thought that was compliance, and I guess it wasn't. Just
Well,
curious.
things changed in 10 years, so we had to upgrade.
Okay. And so all the restrooms have to be push
Yes.
panic?
Yeah, well,
And-
got a
and the
lot
doors.
older, now we need that deal again.
Is that what it is? Okay,
That's
I
what
meant
happened
the right
10
hundred,
years.
okay.
We're 10 years older.
Yeah,
We need to quit that.
gotcha.
Joey, on the fuel, remember we discussed last week about using red fuel on the equipment? Did you find
Yes.
out?
No, Pete and I are going to meet with DPS
Because
and Texas.
that was it.
That's it, a lot of money.
Yeah, we're looking.
Because I don't understand it. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be right.
You know, that the mowers are 80%
Yeah.
of the time on our ditches, they're not on the,
There's quite a bit of difference.
yeah.
Anything else?
On the Paso Electric Company, is that the monthly service for just this building or all the facilities?
What number are you looking
On
at?
item 27.
It's a combination
Of
of all
Of all.
facilities.
Yes.
So this is basically our monthly cost average, our monthly cost, you'd say, or for running the EPI
our buildings are, and some of the head gates locations where we have power.
Okay.
On 23 and 37, that's because we switched Chewy back to Verizon, correct?
Yes.
The dates here indicate, because you said you're having trouble after all with the.
With T-Mobile, I guess they expanded too fast and overloaded their towers. And, but, you know, we started having a lot of problems with, especially with our dish writers, had no communication and
We got together with Sprint.
Now that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Saw that.
went, Verizon did a new contract with Mexico, utilizing their towers. So they've improved their system, plus they're installing some new towers also that are going to improve it here in the El Paso Valley. So we went back to Verizon.
I guess that's the reason you don't have to put a one in when you down Mexico.
Right.
You're supposed to take that out.
And we thought we'd save the first time. And
Yeah.
that's the difference, almost double, just for their service, right?
Every time I tried to switch from Verizon for that, it always caused me problems, historically, you know, over the years, and, you know, it just works everywhere. I mean, that dang stuff works all over the world. It really does. You just get that global deal, and in fact, it works better in other parts of the world than it does in
So that would be the average going forward. That's going to be.
Actually, it's going to be lower than, because we had to buy some phones with Verizon. So we upgraded our phones also, we needed to. So the bill won't be that high. Yeah. Right, Mary?
I put you on the spot. Right, Mary? I love that, that's the button.
Mary said.
She knows.
Yeah, it's Mary's fault if it is, I guess.
I will tell you all a story. I got in trouble with my oldest brother because he was having problems with Verizon here a few months back. So I told him that we had changed to T-Mobile and it was working great. So he switched to T-Mobile here about a month ago. He gave me a good earful, yes, because we went back to Verizon and he's stuck with T-Mobile now.
Anything else in the 500?
Mary, the very last line, we're actually giving money back to El Paso Water Utilities. What is that, water rights street fund?
Processing fees, they're the contracts that come through, processing department, and some of them are not approved, so we have to refund the processing fee.
Yes, sir. So we charge $100 for processing, and if they're rejected, we return the processing fee.
Oh. So we rejected 5 of them.
There were 5, they were water users, and
Okay,
we're not gonna accept those.
okay.
They were rejected.
Okay, now I got it. I didn't know that.
That's why it's labeled lease. It's the only
Yes.
one. Okay.
The term is assignment, but we refer to them as a lease.
Tell me again why you refused them?
They're water users, they're taking irrigation water.
Oh, they were taking it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got it. That's all I got.
Credit card reports? Say the next one real quickly and don't look at it, it's not a big deal. Legal and consulting fees budget report. That's all. Any other questions, Mary? She stated through it again. Thanks, Mary, keep up the good work. Okay, Rose.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There are no tax adjustments. And then my next report is a comparison, I'm sorry, not comparison, it's the El Paso Public Service Board, Lower Valley Water District, and tax use. For information purposes, this is where we're at on accepting leases. I just want to point out the Lower Valley Water District has come in with almost 400 leases recently, and we got 2 more hundred coming in pretty soon. So they're picking up water rates.
Wow.
450. Wow, that's 30%, almost 30% of the total. Yeah. Wow, huge. What got into them?
Somebody got into the
Well, those are
landowners.
subdivisions that were filed in 2020, I'm sorry, 2019 for 2020, because we always tax year behind. So once it's accepted, they file it out on our books, then they can introduce the finance to property owners.
That's very good. And even your tax suits, Rose, they went
Yes,
down,
sir. Yes, sir. By
so we're
six.
only owed, what, 71, no, 68?
68,000, yes. And this, suits get non-sued, but then we can add new suits. Any questions on that report? We'll go to our next report. This is a comparison between 2019 tax assessment and 2018. We are trailing a bit. We are August 2020 at 98.1716% versus last year at the same time we're at 98.5436%. So we are going to be sending out delinquent notices next month. Any questions on this report?
I don't think so, I haven't heard none.
And I just saw on the, there needs to be a correction on the, it says 2017, 2018 tax comparison. That should be 2018 and 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Rose, keep up the good work. As always. Thank you, Sweeney. Okay, Chewie.
Just on item A, the update on COVID, we've been very fortunate that we haven't had any employees go down here the last month with we've got a couple that we've had to send for testing, and they came back negative, but we haven't had any come back positive, which has been good. I know that and the managers help a lot on, we have temperatures that we test on a daily basis with the employees, and we've been pretty strict with them on wearing their masks, and especially when they're teamed up together. So we've been very fortunate that we haven't suffered like other agencies that I know of that have had problems. So that's all I have on that. On item B and C, I'd like to take those two into the closed because B, there's Al wants to share an MOU with the board, and we'd like to do that in the closed. And then item C, I want to discuss, we're close to finalization on that license with the County of El Paso, but I'd like to discuss that with you all in closed.
Got it down, okay. All right, district engineer.
I'm not giving any more reports till it snows.
Say it again.
He's not giving any reports till it snows.
Oh, till it snows? Yeah.
A lot. Snowing a lot.
Yeah. I hope it does more than it did about rain.
Yeah, I mean, you already, there's not any water. So in the whole system, it's pretty dry.
The whole world. western world anyway. Just telling Al, I drove up through all of the New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, parts of South Dakota, part of Idaho, and Nevada, all the way to Lake Tahoe and then back. And the only place that I saw green in that whole area was Benson, Arizona. Go figure. It's the only place. I mean, it's the driest. I've never seen that country look like that this time of year. Unbelievable. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Al. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Even there in the Tetons?
Well, you know,
Were you up to the Tetons?
I haven't,
It was dry. Sorry. Go ahead, Al.
so I don't have I mean, there's nothing to report on, literally. So Robert will give you an update on where we are on I think we're still on track for finishing up in mid-September. We have adequate water to make it that far.
Do we have a
It's not going to be
date?
all.
Do we have a date that you want to end it on, Robert?
Well, it's October 1, right?
No, September the 15th.
September 15th?
No, we'll talk about it.
Just kidding. Sorry.
We have flirted with the date though.
But based on the projected use and everything, we're not going to have any problem making it to that point, so we're all right.
All right, so you have nothing to report on?
No.
This is going to be a short meeting. Does anybody have any reports? Okay, maintenance manager, I know you'll have a good report, John. I know you may.
I'll put you guys to sleep here.
Can I share the screen now? You can do the presentation.
Sure, let me. Okay, you good?
I'll try to go through it pretty quick. Okay, and I'll start off with, of course, some of our mowing within our delivery system, just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like out there. Let's see if I can show it.
Go right.
Okay. This is on Franklin Canal over by Fresno. And then we've also had some water users pay for some dust abatement gates. This is over by Jarrett's place, Jarrett Rogers. This gate has been painted already and all the reflection tape has been put on it. I apologize for not having a completed picture. Also, I do have a crew, and all they're doing is repairing turnouts. Any calls that we might get, I'll send a crew out there as long as water's low enough. And this is there at the heading of Guadalupe. So some turnout repair. And then this is the Darty. This canal here was only taking about half the capacity of what it should take, so and it made a hell of a difference. I think we dropped, what'd you say, Robert, something like 24 hours on the water user here just by going out there and digging it out. We took about a good 1.5 feet of silt out of it. Unfortunately, we're so cramped already that anything we dig out, we gotta haul off. We can't just place it on top of the ditch banks the way we used to. This, I'm sorry?
Why can't you put it on top?
Well, because we've got homes on both sides, and now
Oh,
it's
just there, I thought you meant everywhere.
pretty much everywhere already. I mean, other than out here in the valley. But anytime we go into the city, I gotta haul all the dirt out. I get a lot of complaints too, where people say that people walking on the ditch banks can actually see inside their backyards.
Where are you disposing of the silt and the dirt?
Well, like this here was some pretty clay soil, so we used it on the Y197, which is about a mile away. That is a cement line ditch that we needed to raise the banks. So as we're digging it out, we're also utilizing it where we need it.
Perfect, okay.
This came from a meeting that we had with Border Patrol here a couple of, what was it, last month? Last month, what they were doing is, right where you see the form there used to be a little step. So what the illegals were doing, they were coming in through the culvert, and then they were helping each other up to that little ledge and getting up to the top. This is there at Riverside Wasteway 2 by the I-Zeros. So we went and extended that
that section there. That way they can't use it as a step anymore. That's what it looks like from the top, so we kind of pretty much match the shape of it.
They'll have to bring their own ladder.
Right, exactly.
And they will.
And I think that's come up already, and, you know, we've met with Water Patrol, and anytime they can't retrieve those ladders, they'll call us, so we can go out there.
So they're walking through those tunnels, is that what's going on there?
Yes.
So why don't they just lock to the other side so they don't go through the tunnels?
Because we can't, because IBWC doesn't want, that's a wasteway that disposes of water back into the river. So there's a
So
way.
it's a free-for-all, basically, it's open. They can
Well,
go in and-
it's an open, open culvert that goes into the river, the wasteways.
Wow, okay.
But those walls are about a good
12
12 feet high? Yeah, 12 feet high, so the only way they're gonna get across is with ladders.
Gotcha.
This is here at Camino de la Rosa and Los Tules. We will start repairing this or replacing this culvert here on Monday. Right now, what we've been doing is we've been doing a temporary crossover because this Tules Street is the only way people have to get in and out of their neighborhoods.
Wow.
So we dropped another pipe further upstream and made a temporary crossing to get people out and any emergency vehicles or anything that might occur. All this is being funded by the city of San Elizario and the county of El Paso. Half of that road belongs to the county, the other half belongs to the city of San Elizario. I'm having to deal with the both entities to try to get this resolved. And you'll see how bad it washed under there. What happened is the pipe underneath just corroded. And we are just trying to get the water to flow. And then we had to remove a section of sidewalk because people were still using that sidewalk and everything underneath was undermined, so for the safety of the neighborhood there, we removed that sidewalk. Today, as we speak, we're putting some gravel at the temporary crossing, and they've got a chemical top seal. We're installing that on there also. And again, all that is being funded by county and city of San Diego. This is over by Hideaway Lakes. Tony Rancich was watering, and unfortunately, he didn't get to finish watering through this turnout at least. So, and again, it's just an erosion of the pipe that's just so old and failed. And right now, we've got 3 of these that we need to replace. We've got one of the Y251, and then just another one came across here by the I-57. This one has been completed. Now, we did take a look at the pipe underneath, and the pipe underneath is gonna have to be replaced also. I'm holding on it until after the water season, that we had a little window.
Is that another lateral, is that another
No, that-
supply from Tony?
No, that's actually to the drain. It's the one that crosses under the flume.
Okay.
So we're gonna see a lot of traffic that I'm gonna have to divert for Hideaway Lakes, and you know what that means, Art?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do it in the winter where we can limit, because not a lot of people do a lot of fishing in the winter, so
Okay, yeah.
we're gonna work till this winter to do it. And then some of our drains, this is the river drain. This drain parallels all the levee. There from the Socorro ponds all the way to hole in the wall. And this was also a major concern for Border Patrol because there was a lot of illegals hiding in the brush. So our mowers do take a beating. That's on the same drain. Then this one here is another culvert over on the Ida drain or by the Lemoore headquarters. And this one also has been completed. This one here was it was a challenge because as you see how wide the crossing got, the more we dug, the more we lose the bank. So it kept sloughing off. So it took us probably a good 3-4 days just to get it to grade. That's that crossing.
This drain is starting to look in pretty bad shape. I was out there during this project, and we're starting to get a lot of sloughing down in that area. So we're gonna have to eventually think about doing something there, either burying it or bringing some type of material to stabilize those banks. This is the Fabian's waste drain, and on this one here, we've always had a problem that we can't seem to resolve. Every time water season starts, this section of the drain backs up. This is over by Mr. Pruitt's old place. I think you know what's that area. And it's already so deep that there's a ponding area in this area. I mean, the water just ponds. So we went in there, just dug kind of the channel, just try to get the berms out of the channel. And we did manage to lower the water about 2 feet in this drain.
Black water.
Yes. And here's another one of our drains. And then we go into the drains within the city of El Paso. This is the Mesa drain. These next couple of pictures will be basically from Warwick all the way down to where Del Valle High School is at. That's before and after pictures.
Are we maintaining that, or is that the city maintaining
That is us.
That's under that contract that we have with, that they're paying us
that? They're paying us to do it.
to utilize our drains.
So. That's there right by the body. And again, we're hauling everything out.
That's why we wanted the Riverside to look like all these years.
Yes.
It will finish in a couple of years.
We're working on it, aren't we?
And then next year you can do a lot. I have a feeling it'll be dry.
The good thing about it is all this area here, it's got ramps to get in and out of the channel. Then this is the drain up the valley, over by, what's in that street?
Mulberry?
No, where that gentleman, told me how smart you
Which one?
were. Where that gentleman told you how smart you were when we were cleaning it out the first time.
Yeah, no, it's at, Sunset?
Yes, well, just below Sunset, yes.
Just below Sunset,
Just
yeah.
below Sunset.
I had to bite my tongue that day.
And, well, right now, we're replacing the gates on the Sanelli heading for Robert. These gates are used heavily. Once he checks it up, pretty much water's there all year. So he was able to lower the water from here yesterday. So we're having to replace the 2 center gates, the stationaries, because with the pressure and how old they are, they've buckled. So we're scared that we're gonna lose them one of these days, and if we lose them, we're gonna break some canals. So we're in the process of repairing those right now. That's all I got, gentlemen. Anything for me?
Thanks again for all the good work. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Roberto.
Kind of give you a rough idea of just the acres, because last year we started so late in the season, but kind of comparing apples to apples, that started June the 1st this year versus last year. So far this year, we watered up to 41,000 acres more than last year in just June, July, and August. And comparing it for the whole year, starting just from March to this year, we watered up to 91,000 acres more than last year. So it's been, we have quite a lot of acres out there this year. So they're going pretty fast, but talking to a bunch of the farmers, yeah, a lot of them are getting to their cotton and the last watering. A lot of them haven't even started, but they'll be starting here with about next week or so, and then they'll go right into September, and they should almost be through, but I think maybe we'll still have some about the middle of September, but I think that as far as the cotton, they're almost ready to finish out the, but they're saying the last 5th irrigation on their cotton, on the pecan, they're still saying they're still lacking about 2 to 3 more on there. Some says 2, some of the guys, they believe in going into October. And on the water allotment we got left, it just depends how far we go into September. But even if we use September, I think that we're still in pretty good shape to leave almost about 75,000 on carryover for next year. And it's still, but we still, in September, we still gotta carry a budget about $635 per day to stay with about 36,000 for September, and, you know, stay with that 70,000. 600, you know, it's even 650 per day, but when we get charged at the dam, it's still a good amount of water to carry it over. And I think we'll be in pretty good shape. And if we don't release that much, it's even more that we can save. So it comes back down to what we were saying earlier, it's when you all want to cut off in September.